Hi, my name is Kevin Chapa, and I'm the co-chair of the Legislative Committee, the Educational Legislative Committee. We're here today to interview the various candidates who are running for the Board of Education in St. Mary's County. We have our Legislative Committee here, and Mr. Krush will be here to do his best to talk to us about what he thinks and what he believes in. So if we could go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and then we'll begin with the questions.
Jillian Hannes. Oh, math teacher at Leonardtown High School. I'm Jill Morris. I'm at Hollywood Elementary. I'm the president of CSMIC.
Jan Emerson, retired, on the board of directors for ESMIC.
Okay.
My daughter's a math teacher at Choctaw.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
Got a lot of math teachers here then, huh?
Not me.
Me.
All right, let's start with our first question.
All right, yes. So we're asking everybody the same questions, so we're just
Okay.
going to make it fair in that way. Except at the end, there will be a question maybe from your questionnaire that we wanted to follow up on.
All right,
But all the candidates are getting the first 3 questions to respond to.
all right.
And your first question is, if you're elected, what are you willing to do to make sure the Board of County Commissioners fully funds the Board of Education budget?
Well, I think better communications with the county commissioners would be a first step. I think that our present superintendent got off to a bad start with the commissioners. And I think maybe he could be pushed in a little more congenial direction with the county commissioners. We all really want the same thing. We want a good education system for the kids. There's no sense either side getting confrontational about it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, I got number 2. Many school systems around us and in neighboring states have active middle school interscholastic athletic programs where schools play each other in various sports. For instance, Calvert County middle schools play each other in soccer, volleyball, cheerleading, baseball, softball, and track. Do you believe it is time for St. Mary's County to develop such a program for our students as well? If so, what will you do to begin such an endeavor?
Well, I coached for 16 years. I coached wrestling at Thomas Stone for 16 years. So I'm a big advocate of athletics for developing character in children. And it would depend a lot on the money, if it were available. I think it probably could be found somewhere in the budget. It seems to me a lot of money gets hidden in the budget here and there. But in the end, it would depend on the cost of this, but I think it would be a good idea to have athletics at that level.
All right, thank you.
All right. Here's one for you. During the last school year, and actually this is an ongoing problem, many St. Mary's County teachers have reported a significant increase in disciplinary issues, even among our younger children, and a lack of school-wide consequences for violent and dangerous behaviors. What policies would you pursue to address this growing concern among our educators and support staff?
Well, you're hitting on a sore subject with me. I think that the discipline has gone way too lax. I think that overall, the onus of responsibility for a child's behavior and his academic achievement is being placed more and more on the teachers and taken more and more away from the students. I think that they're not being held accountable for their actions. I don't think they're having their feet held to the fire. I think that the discipline is way too lax. I believe in second chances sometimes, but I don't believe in third and fourth and fifth chances. I think that I think we need to go back, and of course this is coming from an old person here, I think we need to go back a few steps the way things were done in the past, where kids were held accountable for their actions.
Have you thought about it? I mean, policies are what drives the system, so.
Right. I'm going to be one vote on the Board of Ed. I'm going to be one voice. And I think too many people on the board right now are too apt to just go along with whatever is said by the superintendent. I think more pressure has to be put on the superintendent because I think this lax policy is from top down. I think superintendent wanting to have more kids graduate makes things easier on the kids academically and discipline-wise. It makes it harder for them to, teachers to hold the kids accountable. Teachers are losing more and more control as a result of the policies that are coming down from the top. All I can say is that I would push as hard as I could to bring things around and make it better for the teachers. I don't know exactly what I could do except talk about it and push my ideas.
Thank you.
And your final question. In one of your responses, you commented that less money, if spent prudently, is far more beneficial than more money spent foolishly. From your perspective, what sort of expenditures in our system do you consider prudent and which are foolish? And can you point to specific examples?
Okay, I could start with one of the things that really irritates me, and that's the overstaffing at the central office and how they keep adding jobs at the central office and then taking teachers away from the schools. I know the high schools this year have all lost 2 teachers, while the central office is adding personnel. I think that needs to stop. I think that needs to go backwards. I think some of these jobs need to be looked at. Their titles need to be explained, what these people are actually doing for the salaries they're getting. These salaries that this overstaffing is getting at the central office needs to be put back into teacher salaries. We need more teachers, not fewer teachers. We need class sizes smaller, not larger. And the other part of the question was, that's my complaint.
Your specific examples of how money was spent prudently versus foolishly.
Okay, foolishly is all these salaries at the central office. Prudently, well, pay increases for the teachers would be a prudent way to spend the money, and I understand there's a salary increase that's coming along this year. Prudently would be updating in more textbooks. Anything that's spent inside the school to benefit the students. Anything that's spent at central office isn't being spent in the school where the boots are on the ground, where the people are actually working and doing a job of educating the kids. There's no education going on for the kids at the central office. That would be my main, I think, objective would be to try to pare that down.
Thank you.
Mr. Krush, do you have any questions for any of us, for the legislative committee or the teachers or CSMAT union in general?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming here. We appreciate you taking the time to stop by and tell us a little bit about what you believe in and what you stand for, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity you gave me to come talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.